All right, so boom. On my podcast channel, I had a little series called The Misconceptions of a Hip Hop YouTuber, where me and all the culture discuss different things that people have assumed about us over the years simply because of our quote unquote occupation. We talked about what are just some ridiculous things that people have said to us in our comments or on social media in the realm of, you're a music YouTuber, right? So shouldn't you talk about this? Or aren't you a rap YouTuber? So how do you not know about this? Like things like that. There are so many misconceptions that people have about me and other people that just because we have a hobby, or for some people this is their job, but just because we're on YouTube talking about music, that there are these like requirements that we have to meet or things that we should do or know because we talk about music. The 5 things in this video apply to me, but I didn't want to call this the 5 things people assume about Amir or the misconceptions of Amir, because I'm sure these things will apply to a lot of other music YouTubers as well. So like the video if you rock with it, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and let's get into the 5 ridiculous assumptions that people have about music YouTubers.
Terrible and terrible, that's where I'm from. It's terrible and terrible, that's where I'm from.
Now I'm pretty sure I speak for every music YouTuber when I tell y'all one of the most annoying things that viewers say to us is anything in the realm of, but aren't you the same person that said blank? And for everyone that has ever said this to a music YouTuber before, some of y'all have said this to me, but I'll get into that in a second. When we express an opinion, when we say something in a video, we don't mean that's something we're going to think like for all eternity. You people act so surprised when you hear a YouTuber say something and then many videos later they say something different. Like we're not allowed to change our mind on things. Just like how you guys' opinions change over time because you re-listened to something or you finally decided to give something a chance after you said you weren't interested, the same things happen with us. Now when it comes to the 2 examples where people have done that to me, I also do kind of want to ask you guys, what is a good time frame to where someone changing their mind doesn't seem ridiculous? Like what I mean is, I completely get it if someone says something in a video and then the next week they said something different. If I said Saweetie was one of the worst female rappers in the game, then 1 week later I drop a video talking about Saweetie is top 3, then I understand, you know, like damn, how did your opinion on her change that fast? Especially if I had a ridiculous reason for the quick change of heart. Like, hey y'all, I know I said Saweetie was trash, but I tried that new Saweetie's meal at McDonald's. Then I listened to her High Maintenance project, completely changed my mind. She actually go hard. Y'all would be like, nigga, please. So 1 week is definitely a short time. But what about like 3 months? I feel like 3 months is a long time and an understandable time for someone to have a change in opinion. For me, it was in October 2020 when I made my 5 songs I listened to for one part video. In that video, when talking about a Drake song, I verbatim said, I have no plans on listening to Aubrey Graham's music. Now, the reason I said that at that time is because I had, and still do, have people who want me to make a every song rank video on Drake. I've said a million times that people like Drake, Kanye, Jay-Z, Eminem, I don't really want to do one on them because they have 7+ albums each. That would take a long ass time to listen to their music. So I'm like I'm good right now. I have no plans on listening to them. In January 2021, however, I announced that Drake would be the second person I would be doing an Am I Sleeping episode on. For those of you that's not aware of that series, it's just when I take an artist who I've had a slight interest in checking out their music, so I ask for 10 song recommendations from my viewers, then I react to them in a video. When I announced that Drake was the next person, a few people immediately said, like, didn't you just say that you had no plans on listening to Aubrey Graham's music? I'm like, yeah, I said that 3 months ago. You acting like I said that yesterday. Within that 3-month time span from October to January, I said, I guess I could do one of these on Drake then, since people keep recommending him anyway. So I don't think 3 months is that bad. But speaking of my Every Song Rank series, an example that was way worse was in April 2019. I made my 5 rappers I refuse to listen to video, which to this day remains the most disliked video on my channel, and I had Big Sean on there. Starting in 2015, Big Sean became a rapper that fell off my radar, and I only knew the big radio songs by him. I couldn't name you anything else, and I didn't want to listen to anything else. Fast forward 17 months later, in September 2020, I did an Every Song Rank video on Big Sean, and unsurprisingly, I was getting comments like, Amir, you low-key ain't shit. How you gonna say you refuse to listen to Big Sean, and then you decide to listen to all his albums and rank all his songs? I'm like, do you know how long ago I said that? Boy, that was like 1.5 years ago. So guys, seriously, like music YouTubers are annoyed when y'all do this. When we say something, that doesn't mean like for the rest of our lives we're going to hold that opinion. So don't be shocked talking about like, but then you say this, now you're saying this, especially if the older opinion you're referencing is from months or even years ago.
It's terrible and terrible. That's where I'm from. It's terrible and terrible. That's where I'm from.
What I'm about to say right now is actually very sad that I have to explain this because this should be common sense. But like the old saying goes, y'all, common sense isn't always so common. It can be the most simple logic imaginable. There's always that group of people that's not going to understand it. But what I have to say is, a person doesn't have to add the words, in my opinion, to a sentence that's already subjective in nature. This applies to a ton of things, not just music, and this can be applied to just people you talk to on social media naturally instead of just YouTubers. Now, I would completely get it if I was some Jimmy Neutron ass smarty pants and I gave this persona that I knew everything about rap and what I say is right, anything else different is wrong. But a lot of music YouTubers don't act like that at all. The reason y'all assume that we're stating our opinion as facts is for the reason I just said. Y'all think we have to say the words, in my opinion, to me, in my eyes, after every statement. Just to give a few examples, if we say something like, this rapper sounded so uninspired on this album, or this rapper had no cohesion on this project, it sounded like he just threw a bunch of songs together and called it an album, or this rapper only released his album just to make a quick buck, he didn't really care about putting together something of quality. Sentences like these don't have to have the words, in my opinion, in them, because that would be redundant. We're already speaking from our own perspective and expressing how we feel after listening to something. Hell, to make it even more straightforward, whenever we say anything is better than something else, we don't have to say it's our opinion because it's obvious. I think the song Breakdown from J. Cole's first album, The Sideline Story,
be strong, don't break down, mama, don't break down, don't break down,
is better than his song She Knows from his second album, Born Center. Because there's no such thing as one song being objectively better than another, it doesn't matter if I say Breakdown is better than She Knows or to me, Breakdown is better than She Knows. These two sentences are the exact same. It's just that one of them doesn't include the obvious mention that is my opinion. And that's the sad part. Some people will look at the first sentence and say, well, that's just what you think. Like, it's better to you. Like, yeah, no shit, man. Now, just to end off on this entry, one comment that a lot of us YouTubers have gotten at some point as well is you should have put, in my opinion, in the title. There are dead ass people out there where if they see a video titled Top 10 Best Young Thug Songs, they will seriously comment saying, you should have titled this video Top 10 Young Thug Songs, in my opinion. Those of you out there that would comment something like this, I'm talking directly to you. I'm seriously convinced that y'all be saying this and don't see the flaw in your comment and y'all think y'all be doing something. And what makes it funnier, the only reason why people say, oh, you should have said this was your opinion, is because they don't agree with something you said in the video. For me, it was my 5 best opening lines in hip hop video. One thing I explained in the intro of that vid was I wasn't saying it was a top 5 best. I said what I thought what 5 of the best openers was. So it wasn't a top 5, just 5 really good ones. For that reason, I had people, mainly old heads, saying, you should have said this was 5 best opening lines in your opinion because some iconic ones are missing. You didn't put visualizing the realism of life and actuality, fuck who's the baddest, a person's status depends on salary on here. And it's like, dude, you do realize that you saying that lyric is one of the best is your opinion, right? It's very hypocritical to tell a YouTuber you should have said this was your opinion just because they didn't say something you expected them to say. So yeah, like, stop saying that we treat our viewpoints as facts because I'm not saying that it never happens.
Today, I'm gonna be stating some of my many quote-unquote unpopular opinions. And quite honestly, I don't even look at these as opinions. My God, these are cold-hearted facts.
But most of the time y'all say that, y'all for real are just bothered because we don't share the same opinion as y'all.
It's terrible and terrible. That's where I'm from. It's terrible and terrible. That's where I'm from.
One of the reasons I made this video and one of the reasons I decided to cover this on my podcast with Culture recently is because of this entry right here. This goes into more of the gatekeeping side of hip hop. Those people, and I know y'all have encountered them too, those people who try to tell you how you gonna call yourself a fan of hip hop but you never heard like whatever. Go around the old head and say you never listened to DMX's It's Dark and Hell is Hot you've never listened to Jay-Z's The Blueprint. They'll lose their damn mind. So as you guys can expect, I definitely get those type of responses as a YouTuber whenever I say there's an old school artist or old school album I've never listened to. How are you a hip hop YouTuber and you don't know this? In one of my more recent videos, like 5 things rap fans do that they won't admit, I said in the first entry that I don't call someone a legend if I don't listen to their music and if I'm not educated on how that person influenced the rap genre. And some people I used as an example was Common, Mos Def, and Slick Rick. I had someone comment, but isn't this a rap music channel? How do you not know about the legacy of Mos Def or Common? I'm not even trolling right now when I say this, but I really don't get why me having a channel where I talk about hip hop just automatically makes you guys think that I know about all of these things. Me saying that I don't listen to Mos Def, Warren G, Phife Dawg, Black Thought, that shouldn't make you go, how do you not listen to them and you have a rap channel? Like, that makes no sense to me. Now, when it comes to albums, that's another thing. I don't know why you guys are surprised when I tell y'all I haven't heard an old school album. It's almost like y'all expect us to be historical encyclopedias or something. Once we say there's an older album we haven't heard, it's, you never heard this album and you're a music YouTuber? The example I'm gonna give for myself, for those of you who follow my channel closely, you won't be surprised by this, but I never listened to Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers until last month. July 2021 was the first time in my life where I put on that album and I heard every song. I didn't rock with it on my first hearing, but I went back to it and it hit harder the second time. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. But I guarantee some of you watching this video right now just had that thought of, how have you not heard Into the Wu-Tang until last month? Like, nigga, where did you grow up? Or something like that. Sometimes it's not even me being a YouTuber. I be getting stuff like, how are you a fan of rap and you ain't never heard this album? How are you a black man and you never heard Into the Wu-Tang? Dr. Umar would be ashamed. And Into the Wu-Tang isn't even the only essential album that I haven't heard. Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music by Outkast, Reasonable Doubt by Jigga, and a couple of others. So I'm already aware that some people look at me differently for that reason. How do you have a platform where you talk about rap but you don't know about this, this, and this? Like, bro, like, get on somewhere with that. As I mentioned earlier, it would be different if I claimed to be a hip-hop historian and act like I knew every damn thing, but I don't act like that at all. A lot of music YouTubers don't. So the final thing I want to say for this entry, like, stop assuming that just because we talk about rap music that we're just supposed to know about all of these older rappers and albums. If you think like this, like, please comment why, because I legit don't see the correlation.
Terrible and terrible, that's where I'm from. It's terrible and terrible, that's where I'm from.
These final 2 entries are going to intertwine in a sense, but I'll explain them both as we get to them. Now, I always felt like as you watch someone's channel for some weeks or some months, you should get a feel of the type of content they make. You should become so familiar to the point where you realize that not all music YouTubers talk about the same thing. Specifically, I mean, you guys need to realize that not all music YouTubers are like BlackySpeakz, Academics, or Diamonds Live. Some of us don't care about big news stories that's happening in the media. Someone like Dom or Blackie, if there's something that's going on in the media, of course you'll look at them and expect them to make a video on that topic, because even if you don't like their opinions, they're still going to tell you facts about the situation, so you'll be educated on it. But someone like me, you've literally never seen me make a video with that style. Truth be told, that's why I will say someone like Blackie is a better YouTuber than me, because he cares about modern hip hop way more than I do. The number one time where this happened to me though, and I will never forget it, was the summer of 2018. Around this time when Drake was dropping Scorpion, this is also where his beef with Pusha T happened. Duppy freestyle story at Adidon. Drake dropped I'm Upset and people was like, bro, shouldn't you be responding to Pusha T? Boy, that was a time. However, I had a good number of people that was asking me, are you going to make a video talking about the Drake and Pusha T beef? And I was like, no, why would I do that? Well, aren't you a rap YouTuber? Like, yes, so? I'm just saying, I feel like that would be an easy video to make to get you a lot of views. Like, man, and I've had this conversation with a few people back then. I'm like, dog, I don't give a damn about Drake or Pusha T. I don't even listen to either one of their music. So why would I talk about that? Just so y'all don't get confused either, when I say I don't care about something going on in hip hop at the time, I mean I don't care enough to make a video about it. Of course, I be on social media reading about the stuff, and then speaking of Academics, or hell, even Hell Yeah Scene. If they drop a video about something, I'll check it out. But I would not bother wasting my time making a whole YouTube video about these things. I don't care that much. And that's surprising to some people when I tell them that. How are you a rap YouTuber and you don't want to talk about Pop Smoke's label milking his legacy? How you gonna say you don't care about the baby making these homophobic comments? The statement of, I feel like you would get a lot of views if you made this, that's a whole nother discussion in itself. And I've come to the realization that that's only 9 YouTubers that say that. You should make a video about this. This been in the news recently. You'll get more views and subscribers if you did that. Guys, we're not sellouts. So we don't make whatever just to capitalize on something that's trending. If we're not interested in what that current event is, then a video on that topic is never coming. So unless it's a channel like Hella Yassine or BlackySpeakz, us telling you that we don't care about something going on in hip hop shouldn't be surprising to you.
It's terrible and terrible. That's where I'm from. It's terrible and terrible. That's where I'm from.
Now, what I said on the last entry that's similar to this one, when I mentioned after you've watched someone's channel for some time, you should know the type of content they make and don't make. And as you guys know, there are a lot of reaction and review channels. The Fantanos, the Shawn Cees, the Dylan Jacksons, the Luke James, not the singer, so on and so forth. Now, obviously, people like them are focused on newer music. When there's a new project that comes out, you go to someone like them and say, hey, you heard that new like whatever album yet? Or when are you dropping your review to Blank's new album? For music YouTubers like myself that aren't reaction or review channels, you shouldn't assume that we just jump on new music that comes out. And I've been saying this throughout this whole video. I've had to deal with people saying that to me. How are you a music YouTuber and you don't pay attention to the new music that comes out? I really would love someone to comment explaining why y'all assume this. I make videos pretty much about whatever I feel like and whenever I feel like. And not to toot my own horn, but some of my videos I do think are unique. Like, there's nobody that has a video talking about the worst love songs made by rappers, and I have 2 of them. Hell, even the best love songs by rappers, 5 lyrics that flew over my head when I first heard them. So I think it's pretty obvious at this point that I don't make generic videos like album reviews. And for that reason, I think people shouldn't be surprised when I tell them I don't listen to a new school rapper, or that I don't care to listen to a new album that came out. A lot of the popular people that y'all are in love with nowadays are people I don't listen to at all. Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, I can legit name a ton of people. And the thing is, I don't feel I'm obligated to listen to them. This may be wild for y'all to hear, but me being a music YouTuber doesn't mean I have to listen to any of these people. Nor should I force myself to just to get views and subscribers. I do want to address another point because I did have a conversation with a viewer named Jalen Wilson who told me that he felt a rapper being popular is a turnoff for me. He said just the vibe he gets from watching my videos, he felt like somebody getting a lot of views and streams turns me off from listening to him. Mainly Kendrick Lamar. My real viewers know, I've said tons of times, I've never cared to listen to Kendrick Lamar. But here's my response to what Jalen said. That couldn't be further from the truth. The reason I don't listen to Kendrick, Jack Harlow, Rod Wave, Playboi Carti, for example, has nothing to do with the fact that they're popular. These niggas legit just haven't interested me enough to where I care to check out their catalog. Someone or something being popular isn't a turnoff for me, but it's also not intriguing for me either. You getting a lot of numbers doesn't automatically mean I'm gonna care to check you out. To Pimp a Butterfly being praised as the best rap album of this generation doesn't make me want to go listen to it. I don't hear that and think, what? This is the best rap album of this generation? Shit, let me go see what the fuss is about. No, not at all. I hear people saying it's the best rap album of the generation and I just go, alright, cool. Sounds like a nice album. The final thing I want to say for this video is for the people who regularly watch me. First of all, y'all know I love and appreciate all y'all. Y'all have to realize as well though, someone coming out with a new album doesn't mean I give a damn about making a video on that person. When it comes to my Every Song Rank series, right? One mainstream artist that I don't care about or listen to at all is Tyler, the Creator. When his new album, Call Me If You Get Lost, dropped, I've had people hit me up about that. Yo, Amiri, you should do a song ranking video on Tyler, the Creator. And I'm like, why? I don't listen to Tyler, the Creator. His new album just came out though. Like, so I appreciate the suggestion, but I don't listen to Tyler. And I'm not about to force myself to listen to him and make a video on him just because he dropped an album. The only person I've done a song ranking video on where part of the reason I made it is because a new album was coming from them is Polo G. I've wanted to listen to his music anyway, so when I heard Hall of Fame was coming, I went like, bet this is the perfect time. Everybody else I did that series on, I did it simply because I felt like ranking their music, not because they had a new project coming. Same thing with my Am I Sleeping series. The artists I choose are arbitrary. I don't have a deep reason why I pick the next person. I just choose whoever I feel like listening to. That's how I am overall as a YouTuber. If you're a loyal viewer, you know this by now, but for the newer people, that's how I am. I legit listen to music and make videos on whatever I feel like. I legit don't care about what's trending, what's gonna give me a lot of views, or being accepted by the general audience. I talk about whatever I want to, and I think that's why so many people are shocked when I tell them I never heard or wanted to check out a certain album or artist. Y'all not used to coming across a music YouTuber that does whatever he wants to, regardless of how he's perceived.
Alto, alto, alto.